Hello Stampers, Kelly Acheson at StampinUp.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. Today I'm going to share two really cute projects with you. One is going to be an alternate idea card using the Blissful Blooms Paper Pumpkin Kit. This is our kit for August. And then the other project is going to be a box for a little piece of candy to go along with that card. Let's get started and I'll show you how I did it. I'm going to bring in my cardstock layers here first, and you'll notice that these envelopes are silver lined and they're also splattered on the inside. These come with the kit. You get 8 of them. Aren't they spectacular? And then we have a piece of Berry Burst cardstock. This is 2 by 4.5. I have already die cut from Whisper White the second largest stitch shapes circle. And then I have a piece of basic black that's 4 by 5 1/4, and I die cut a scallop out of the middle of that black layer to go behind, just to peek out just a little bit. This is a great cardstock saving tip to just cut your die cuts out of the middle of there, because we're going to cover this up with another layer. I'm going to show you the cardstock bases. These are the 2 designs. These are our cards that you would then use the adorable Blissful Bloom stamp set on. So I think you get 5 of each of these. So that's 10 cards in this kit. This is Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then I've got a card base that is Berry Burst, and this is 5.5 by 8.5. Now what I did with the card front here is I took it and I cut it down. And I cut this down so it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller than our black layer. So this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I just wanted that to layer on here with a little bit of black peeking out. We're going to do our stamping right away. And I'm going to take this Whisper White layer and the circle. I'm using Memento black ink to stamp this really cute greeting. I love funky fonts, and this one qualifies. You make me so happy. And then I'm going to bring in my Berry Burst ink pad, and we've got this kind of a watercolor image flower, and I'm just going to stamp that on the side of my circle. And then for our inside layer, I am going to stamp this all the way up the side. Then we've got this little image that looks like kind of like a starburst. We're going to stamp that on the middle of our flowers, and I'm using the Pineapple Punch ink pad. This is a super bright yellow. And I'm just going to put that right in the middle of those flowers. And on our greeting layer. See if I can get that in the middle a little better. There we go. Okay, our inside layer is ready to go in our card. We've got that done. And then we're going to add our circle to the back, or to the scallop black layer. I've got this piece here for the banner on our card. I'm using the triple banner punch, and I'm going to punch off that end. And then I'm going to run it through our Subtles embossing folder. And oh my gosh, this embossing folder is so beautiful. If you haven't seen me use it before, it makes your paper look like linen paper. And I want just a little bit of texture on this banner. I'm going to run this through my Big Shot, and I'll be right back. And here we go. I hope you can see that in the camera, because it really is a beautiful texture. Right, now we're ready to put our card together. I'm going to add some glue to my black layer. Now I would normally put the glue on the back of my floral layer, but since I have this big hole in the middle, kind of working around that. Make sure this is straight. And then we're going to add, whoops, we're going to add some black baker's twine. I almost forgot. So I'm going to kind of put that right down here in the middle of my banner, and I'm going to wrap that around 3 times and then leave enough of a tail here to tie a really nice bow. And if bows aren't your thing, by all means, a knot would work fine too. I like to tie my bows in a knot first when I'm using baker's twine because it really doesn't add any bulk, and it makes my life a lot easier to tie that bow. It'll make your life easier too. There we go. We have a nice little bow there. I'm going to add some glue to the back of this. Have this right on our card front there. And then I want to do just a couple little things to this piece. We have these die cut vellum leaves, and I am going to use one of the bigger ones. Now you want to be careful when you're pulling these out because they are delicate. And then I'm going to use one of the smaller ones. I am just going to attach those to the back of my greeting layer, and these dimensionals come with the kit. Everything comes in the kit except scissors and glue. That's why these make such an amazing gift. I had subscribed to Paper Pumpkin, I think, for almost a full year for my niece, and she absolutely loved getting these kits, and she was, I think, 12 at the time. So it makes a really nice gift. I'm going to add this to the front, and I'm going to put that right over here. What do you think? Isn't that cute? Let's get our card put together and then we'll take a look at it. Simple, this is an easy layout. I love what the vellum does here, and I love the added pop of black. And then here's our inside. Spectacular, right? Now, don't forget to stamp up your envelopes. I'm gonna bring in that Berry Burst ink here and stamp just a few flowers on the front. And here comes that Pineapple Punch center. I love that this doesn't have to be exact. Well, that one was really off, and I can just stamp it again and it still looks fine because that color is kind of light. Okay, so here's our card and our envelope. Now, I wanted a little treat holder to match my card and envelope because I plan on giving this to a friend, and I want just a little something to go with it to make it extra special. So what I did is I took a piece again of Berry Burst cardstock, and I cut this at 4.5 by 4.5. We're going to score it at 1.5 inches around all 4 sides. Okay, so we've got that done. Then I cut the center out of one of these card fronts, and I got this. This is 3 1/16 by 3 1/16. And I'm going to score this at 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. Okay, we're ready to assemble our box. So Anytime you're making boxes, you're going to cut on the score lines to make your tabs. So I cut on this end, turn it all the way around, and cut on the other end. And then I like to cut just a little sliver out of the tab portion, and this is going to be our tab. So it'll just make your box go together nicer. And we're going to cut again up to that first score line and turn it around and do the same thing. And now we need to fold, give it a good burnish. That'll give your box nice crisp folds. And also we're going to do the same thing with the lid. All right. Pull your tabs in. Add glue to each tab. And you're just going to pull those up, pull your sides up, and we're going to make a lid for our box. Now you want to make sure that as you're holding these that you're squaring up your corners. This one got a little away from me. I'm going to push it back a little bit. That's one of the reasons why I really, really like the liquid glue, because it gives me this wiggle room that I need for making things like this. And even on my cards, I love to have that wiggle room. Isn't that cute? Okay, let's do the box. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull in our tabs on both sides here, and we're going to add our glue. And now we're going to pull both of these up and add some glue to the side tabs. Bring this up and square up our box. So you want to make sure that your edges are meeting but not being pushed in too far. And again, the liquid glue leaves us that wiggle room so that we can make sure everything is fitting nicely. Let's make sure our lid fits. It does. What am I going to put in here? How about a raspberry Lindor truffle? And it even matches, right? Because it's raspberry. Berry burst, raspberry. So we have this adorable little box to go with our very pretty, bright, colorful, happy card. These are two alternative ideas to use with the Blissful Blooms Paper Pumpkin Kit. If you're not familiar with Paper Pumpkin, it's a monthly subscription, just like a magazine, only it's a kit. And you never know what it's going to be until you get it in the mail. So this one happens to be 10 beautiful cards with beautiful silver-lined envelopes. Each month I provide my Paper Pumpkin subscribers with 6 to 7 different ideas, alternate ideas using the kit, which makes it a lot of fun. I love the challenge of coming up with something other than what the kit was intended for, but you are certainly welcome just to make it exactly as it is. Stampin' Up! Gives you step-by-step instructions, and there's even a video each month that you can see online. So if you'd be interested in subscribing to Paper Pumpkin, our Halloween Paper Pumpkin is going to be super fun, and that's going to be the September kit. So we don't know what it's going to be. Is it cards? Is it little treat holders that you can hand out to trick-or-treaters? We don't know yet, but I'm excited to see what's coming my way in September. And I love getting a present in the mail every month. Paper Pumpkin is $20 a month. And I'll have a link on my blog and also on my under the YouTube video on YouTube where you can click and go check it out, see if it's something you'd like to sign up for. You can cancel at any time. You can buy prepaid subscriptions and save. So there's lots of ways to become a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. I think these are gorgeous, and like I said, I love the surprise in the mail every month. And then click right up here. That'll take you right to my blog. I have some great online classes that are available. It'll tell you on there how you can get them for free. You can click down here to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't want to miss anything I have coming out. And once again, I'd like to thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend it with me. Bye-bye.